This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. It's a new day in a new way, so join us at New Way Church. has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. It's a new day in a new way, so join us at New Way Church.
Yo, everybody clap your hands one time with me. 1, 2, 3, groove. Oh, I just can't thank you enough for all you have done. So I wrote you this simple song just to say thank you. Lord, I thank you. Come on, y'all sing it for me. Sound all right. So we sing you this simple song to say thank you. Lord, we thank you. Can y'all clap your hands when we say, you made a way? It's that old Sunday soul groove. You might as well bop and say, hey, 'cause you made a way. You did it again. Come on, listen. Say, Lord, we just can't thank you for every little thing you've done. You have done so I'm trying to play a simple song too. Y'all feel it? Hey! Can y'all say it real loud? You made a way. And you did it again. I'm super grateful. You're always doing it, Father. You made a way for us, Lord. You made a way. Yeah, you did. Oh. Yeah. Every now and then, I just want to shout it. Thank you. Thank you for all the things you've done. Thank you. Yeah. Can everybody put in the comments? Thank you. Because he's been good. Come here, bro. Everybody shout thank you. Thank you. Hey. Thank you. You did it over and over again, God. Hey. Say thank you. Thank you. Lord, we thank you. Come on, Toes. Thank you. Anybody glad out there that he kept you from danger seen and unseen? Thank you. Anybody glad that he kept you all day long? Say thank you. Thank you. When your back was against the wall, he didn't let you fall. Say thank you. Hey. Can everybody say thank you? Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you. Oh Lord, you did it over and over again. You always make a way. Thank you. Where there seems to be no way. But that's all you need is an opportunity. Come on, Toe. Say thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Everybody say thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Everybody say thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I can't do that, bro. Everybody thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I want to say, I've got to say, gotta say thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I want to say thank you. Thank you for making a way. Thank you. What you want to tell them for? I want to say thank you. Yeah. But being God all by yourself. Thank you. Everybody clap your hands one time. Thank you. Everybody clap your hands one time. Holla, holla, holla. Yeah. Good God, man. Yeah, let's go ahead and have a soul revival right quick. Say, everybody clap your hands. God is able to do just what he said he would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, oh, 'cause he won't give up on you. He's able. on, toes, help me say it. He's able. Y'all give it up for my brother, Mr. Brian Tolez. I call him Toes. Let's go, bro. God is able.
God is able to do just what he said he would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Yeah. Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you. He's able.
Toes, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to sing it like he's delivered you, like he's made a way out of no way for you. I need you to sing that, brother, from the pit of your soul on this afternoon, on this morning. Do me a favor, man. Lift up your voice real big. Come on. Do it for my brothers and my sisters. Sing it one more time. God is able.
God is able to do just what he said he would do.
Come on, tell him he's going to fulfill it.
He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you.
Don't give up.
Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you. Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you.
Say he's able.
He's able, yeah.
He's able.
He's able, yeah.
He's able.
He's able.
Well, somebody knows it. Say he's able.
He's able.
He's the God that always makes a way. Say it, he is.
He's able.
He's the God that always comes through. Say it.
He's able.
He's the God that always looks out.
He's able.
And listen, I know I don't always make the right choices, but
He's able.
I know I don't always do the right thing, but
He's able.
my life may not look like I wanted to, but
He's able.
my situation's bleak right now, but
He's able.
my sister, don't give up.
He's able.
My brother, hang on for a minute, because he's able.
He's able.
Somebody just wave your hands right quick.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, and just type in the comments one time. You don't have to use a hand for it, but just say he's able. Come on, one time, say it for me. He's able, yeah.
Yes, he is. God is able. Do what he said. God is able.
He will. So God is able to do, say it together, just what he said. Come on, y'all sing.
He would do.
Come on, lift it real high. He's going to fulfill.
He's gonna fulfill
Every
every promise to you.
Don't give up on God. Oh,
Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you.
he's able.
You go ahead, open them. Good morning, Duane. This is Pastor Stowe, the place to be. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. We are in our intimate setting today, our group Bible study / sharing, because you never know how far people have gotten until you talk about it. So we chose today. We got a couple more people coming, so if they just walk in, or if they're watching, they late for church, shame on you. All right. But we are here today. My son, he's supposed to do something, but he decided not to either. So it's all downhill now. It's one of them Sundays. But we're going to have an enjoy. You got something, bro?
I can pray.
You gonna pray? You gonna lead us in prayer? That's what I'm talking. See?
Bow your head.
It's gonna be.
Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for continuing to give us safe travels. We ask that you continue to feed our souls, give us strength and endurance throughout these weeks, God. Allow us to grow within you, God, closer to you, God. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. That is fantastic. See, y'all don't understand how that warms my heart. Get my son pray, you know. So we are in a new series of intimate discussions. We're going to be discussing tough topics, right? So just different topics that we will find in our growth walk with God, deal with everyday stuff. And so I felt like before we went in further in more deeper topics or things like that, I think the biggest problem people have is, can they talk to God? Are they talking to God? How often do they talk to God? Do they just assume that God is listening and they don't have to make a conscious effort to have a conversation with God? So today's tough topic we're going to talk about is prayer, which goes, thank you so much for that prayer. But we one of the target scriptures I read, I thought was that was meaningful before we get into the discussion part is Ecclesiastes 5:2. Ecclesiastes 5:2. And it says, do not be quick with your mouth, do not be hasty in your heart to utter anything before God. God is in heaven and you're on earth, so let your words be few. Right? And it just talks about, quick, being rash, opposed to being considerate and in reverence. And I think a lot of times because the issue is we talk to God out of necessity or anger. So a lot of times, and I want y'all to jump in, like we normally do. We talk to God out of necessity or anger, and so we don't have a lot of practice per se. And I don't want to sound so formal because we're going to get into that, but if you only talk to somebody out of necessity or anger, it's kind of like I told the police chief one time. I said, y'all problem is y'all no longer have officer friendly. And I might be aging. None of these people here probably know who officer friendly. Well, Rob, right? But when I grew up, especially in the Midwest, there was a guy that used to come out. Police officer used to come out like normally in Head Start and kindergarten. And he would come and just chill with us, eat, crackers and drink chocolate milk. And it was always like this relaxed police presence. And I told him, I said, the reason why you have such a struggle with people relating to police officers is because the only time they see you is when something's wrong. So automatically they get reserved, they get tight or whatever. And that's what I look at when it comes to God. Is like, if the only time you talk to God is when you're mad or you need something, then you don't have a concept of how to talk to God. You don't really talk to God often because we ain't always going through something where we just feel like, oh, I need to go talk to God. Sometimes we having good seasons in our life. Everything's okay. But imagine if, you had a relationship with somebody that you put everything for and into, you sacrifice everything for this person. And the only time they talk to you is if they want something or if they're in need. Or, imagine if, your children, the only time, or your friends, the only time you talk to them is when they want something. It would cause a rift in your relationship. I have people, associations that I had, and I had to recategorize my friends because when I looked at, my outgoing call list and my ingoing call list, there was one person who I had known them for probably 15 years and realized that they had never called me ever. You know what I'm saying? And, and so that's kind of like, what does God, when if God was a person and had a cell phone and he looked at his call list, how many calls would he see from you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and this ain't no judge. This is literally, it's not a sermon or like this. This is just conversations. Like how many calls? And the reason why I'm saying don't be quick with your mouth, because a lot of times, all the time when we talk to guys, it's like, well, let me call him, and like the genie in the bottle, he'll make it happen. Now you can be done, ain't talk to him, live any kind of way, act any kind of way, do anything, and then you want to call him and say, hey, come right now. It used to make my skin crawl when being in the church when people would talk to God so rough. God, go here and heal this person right now. And I'm like, do you realize that's God? There's like no humility in our conversations with God. It's like if Zeke walked up to you and was like, Mommy, I want my milk now. And I'm like, little homie, did you forget? You know what I'm saying? Right. Do you realize what I sacrificed as your mother? You don't have a little more rep. Now I'm gonna get you some milk because I'm your mother. But you need to realize I'm your mother. And humility takes us a long way. So being quick and rash and almost arrogant in your conversation with God, I think a lot of times, and I'm gonna read a rewording that I have of the model prayer that's gonna probably crack y'all up. But so what I mean, when you think about prayer, let's get a baseline. What do you all think about prayer? Like, and it's not a judgment thing.
Going to God and talking to God about anything you just feel like is on your heart, like in that moment. It could be bad, it could be good, it could be neutral, it could be whatever. Just pouring into God.
I also look at it as a conversation. Like when I was younger, I had a hard time praying because I always hear how the pastors pray or the deacons pray, all the adults, and it was just so formal and so like A1. I was like, man, I can't do this. I can't talk to you. I'm like, I don't even know what to say,
Right.
But then, as I got older, realizing that God knows how I talk, God knows what I think. So why am I going to try to change the way that I converse with him compared to how I converse with everyone else? So when I am praying to him, I'm just talking to him normal. I'm not doing the old Southern Baptist, version of praying. No, I'll sit there, have my eyes closed, head bowed. Or sometimes I might wake up, and when I'm thanking him for waking me up in the morning, I'll just sit there and just talk to him, And it's not where I feel like it's formal or I'm going through all of the ceremonies of prayer, We're just sitting there having a conversation, the ceremony of prayer, because he's always there. So it's not like he doesn't know what's going on, He's heard me say the good stuff and the bad stuff, So now I do my best when I am talking to him, not to say having bad things that come out, but it's still the fact he knows. So
I love that. I feel like I definitely agree with what you said, Rod. One big thing for me, I had to learn that prayer isn't supposed to be like a performance. So I feel like that was something that growing up, like you said, I feel like I needed to say the right words, and it was a perfect way to pray to God, and I needed to learn how to do it. And I feel like that was something that I struggled with until I realized that, having a conversation with God is that. It is a conversation. I can come to you with everything. It's not just when I'm going through a bad time or when I'm struggling. I can come to you with great news. I can come to you just to have a conversation like I can with Rod, with, Elliot, with anybody pretty much. So I feel like that's something that I needed to learn, It's not performative. It's more personal. It's my personal relationship with you.
And I think that was a powerful statement. It's not performative. It's personal. That's really, really good. That's really, because the Bible speaks against that. It's like people that go out on the corner and they say these big words and stuff like that because their intention is to be heard. And then the Bible says they have already received their reward. So basically what I interpret that to say is that whatever your intentions is, that's what's going to be returned to you. So if your intentions is to be heard or to be for people to think that you're special, then you've gotten what you got. So it doesn't matter what you asked for. What your intentions is I want to be heard. I want to be respected. I want to be, I want to be revered or whatever. Well, okay, good, you got it. Now somebody thinks you're special, But the issue is a person like you that's sitting there going like, I want to talk to God, but if that's the only way I can get his attention, then I'm kind of stuck. And so what happens is you withdraw, because you don't feel like you have a conversation. It's like going into a meeting with some type of, high-powered person or whatever, and you just don't know how to talk to them, or, I remember I had a guy that was, it was a CEO of this company, and he had a hearing problem. He always had hearing aids in, and he always talked super loud. And so he would just pop up by my desk and go, "What about those Pacers?" You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I don't like no Pacers, man. Lakers all the way. I was a big Shaq fan. He was like, "I can't believe you like the Lakers." I said, "I love the Lakers." He's like, "You know what, man? I like the fact that you ain't fake. That's okay." You know what I'm saying? And like everybody was like, "You just talk to him like that? Why does he always want to talk to you?" And he said, "I like talking to you because you're not fearful of me. You don't make me seem like I'm some type of alien that's disconnected to you. God is our Father. How do you talk to your Father? You know what I'm saying? When do you talk to your Father? And so, and to your point is saying we ought to approach God with carefully weighted words, as a frail creature on earth. You go to God with everything, but you still go to God with respect. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I pull back on some stuff, especially when I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? I pull back on some stuff because I know who he is, but he understands me anyway. He probably heard me when I said it to somebody else, but I still want to let him know I respect him, And so that's an important aspect, is that even in your frustration or whatever aspect you're talking to God, you're still mindful of who he is. My mother used to have these conversations. We used to call them powwows, where she just let you say whatever you wanted to say and get it out. Me and my sister, my mother would sit kind of like in a circle, and we could say whatever. And so I was always, that's still mama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm really mad at her and a decision she made or something she'd have let me do. But there still could be some repercussions. You know what I'm saying? My sister was a complete opposite. She just gonna go off. "Mama, you did this and you wouldn't let me go to that, blah, blah." Then it was, of course, all bad. I remember one time she was like, "You know what, power over." Bow. I was like, I don't know if I trust you that much to go that far. You got some issues. You still have the authority and the power to alter my life. And that's the same thing we talking to God, is like, you realize you still are God, regardless of how I feel or what's going on in my life. You still are God. But I want to be comfortable enough to go to him with the real. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, like, why can't you talk to God about that? He already knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's omniscient, he's omnipresent, he's all knowing, all seeing. He knew before you knew that you was gonna go through that situation. He just waiting on you to catch up by talking to him. And he's just waiting on you to catch up to the answer he already has for your life. And so we have to be cognizant of that. Prayer should be a part of your progression in your faith walk. All right, the process of exercising and elevating your faith is that of a painful stretching. And the great thing about pain is pain will make you pray. It will bring situations will make you go to God. James 5:15 says, "And the prayer offered in faith will restore the one who is sick, and the Lord will raise him up. And if he has continued sins, they will be forgiven. Therefore, confess your sins to one another, pray for one another, that you may be healed." Now, most people skip right clean over that, right? This says, it doesn't say pray for yourself. It says pray for one another that you may be healed. So the concept behind that is I'm praying for you because I have something I need to be delivered from. I'm praying for you because I need to be set free for some stuff. So it's the concept of sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep sowing until I reap, And so even in our prayer, our prayer time or our prayer communication, how many times do you pray for somebody else? And what are you praying for them in their life? Like I was telling somebody, I said, like, I pray for people, like, as soon as they tell me something's wrong or anything like that, I pray immediately because I don't want to forget. And if they text me and say, hey, man, can you pray for me? I'll send them a long page prayer. They was like, oh, man, thank you. Like, I didn't mean now. Yeah, well, yeah, you did. You asked me. You meant now, But it says effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much, right? So consistent prayer, because prayer is more about is not about you. It's more about the acknowledgement of what God has already done, what He will also do. So we have to have the focus of we're just praying catch up, like He's already done. I mean, imagine, man, like when you're at your worst point, if you'd have had the mindset that, man, God has already worked this out. You know what I'm saying? How much stress and anxiety would leave your body, even going through a situation you kind of know. It's like going into a boxing match and knowing that it's already fixed. That in round 2, I'm going to shake my glove and he going to fall to the ground and I'm going to win.
I'm going to stick my tongue out.
Yeah, I'm sticking my tongue out. I'm going to whisper something in his ear, Jake Paul. We go, and it's going to get fit. The fight is already, it's a song we sing when we was kids. We say, it's a fixed fight because we already won. God is, even in whatever situation we go into, we have already won it. And if we have that shift in mentality, stuff won't stop hurting. You won't not get upset. It won't stop being frustrating, but it gives you just that more confidence to push through, because you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times I always tell people, like, do you realize how blessed you are? Like, I always ask people that, I've asked y'all that, do you realize how blessed you are? Like, for real, like seriously, I want you to really just take a second, think about, I know you mad, and you justified being mad. I know some stuff, you frustrated, things ain't going like you think, but you like Wade winning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's kind of just having that mindset and going to God with relationship and not with religion, which is kind of what you were saying. I'm not just going to God because it's a checklist part of my day. Okay, I talk to Him, let me give Him this hot 30 seconds, and then He'll be satisfied. And then I'll just go on about my day. It's like being strategic in taking that particular time to talk to Him in whatever avenue you can. And so, like, I used to always think when I was a kid and hear guys in prayer at church, I'm like, do you realize you can't command God? You know what I'm saying? You can only confirm God. You can only confirm what He wants to happen. And so just the way we talk to God. And so I rewrote the model prayer and to say how we sound when we talk to God. All right. My Father, which art in heaven, hallowed out is thy name, even if it's in a situation I'm completely to blame. Right? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, unless something else is more interesting going on, as it is in heaven, which I can't see, but I think I believe in it. Give us this day my daily bread, like old jolly Saint Nick dropped them gifts when I'm on my knees. And forgive us our debt, spiritual, physical, and social. I've blown all my money, stomped on my honey, and my spirit is acting funny as we forgive others. Well, let me take that back. Just forgive me as I ask. Just ignore the previous statement. Right? And lead us not into temptation. Lead us not to temptation. So deliver me from the evil you already delivered me from. For mine is the kingdom with your power and your glory forever. Well, I think. That's how we sound when we talk to God. Like everything is about us. you know, and so we have to be careful of how we sound, because when, you know, the Bible talks about the Holy Spirit kind of translate stuff to heaven. And me and one of my frat brothers was talking yesterday, and I said, man, I remember being in a car because I was trying to get high on one thing, and it was mixed with something else, and I thought I was gonna die. And so I'm sitting in this car, and I'm just freaking out, and I knew I was just really just living a horrible life. And I said, I remember the prayer I prayed was, God, I know I'm trash. I know I'm doing some crazy stuff, and I know I'm high. But even if you don't like me very much, you really like my mama, and it will break her heart to find me dead from a drug overdose. You know, so could you please just let me? I know I might do this stupid stuff again, but I promise I won't do it the way I did it this time. But if you could just consider my mama, you know, because I knew that I was trash, you know. It's a horrible prayer, but that's all I could think of was like, God, don't let me die. Let my mama find me in the alley, because these dudes I hang around with is not taking me to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And so that was just that kind of mindset. Is like, that's all I could think of at that time. Is like, God, at least love my mama enough to spare my life. You know. And my mama said, boy, don't be using me in your prayer. You need to get your life together. Don't be using my grace. But and so when we look at the model prayer, you know, it's not and I like to make sure that people know that that's the model prayer. So basically, the disciples asked Jesus, you know, how do we pray? Teach us how to pray. And he gave us the prayer that we pretty much learned as a kid. And it says, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. All right. So what we realize by looking at the model prayer, when you look at it as a model prayer, it really will change your viewpoint on what literally it's almost like the cheat code to talking to God. You know what I'm saying? So there's a couple things that are in that prayer. If you look at it, there's admission, understanding, clarification, request, reality, renewing, and restating. All right. All of that is in that short, because all those verses are short, right? 9 through 13, right? All of that is there, right? So admission is Our Father who art in heaven. So you're admitting that you are subordinate to God, right? So you're acknowledging who he is before you talk to him. It's like, hey, mama, or hey, daddy, you're identifying your relationship with them, right? Then you have understanding, hallowed be thy name. Realize hallowed, or that means exalted, is your name. Then you're talking about clarification, is thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Clarifying your power, your majesty, your position, right? And then now I'm at request. So the issue is we skipped admission, understanding, clarification. We skipped worship to go to request. If you think about it, how much time in your prayer do you spend in worship, though? Or do you just jump to welcome our First Lady? Come on in, have a seat. Oh, right there. We got you. It's the person. Just come on in. Right there. We got you right there. We got a seat. Come on in. Yeah, right there. Right there. So make sure you're on camera so you get in. All right. So we're talking about prayer. I think you know this, but how much time how much time in your prayer do you add worship? When the model prayer is the model prayer, right? This is from Jesus teaching people how to pray, how to communicate with God. I'm giving you the cheat code. how much of it do you are in worship? People think worship is always in church or it's musically based, whatever. Worship is literally acknowledging the truth of who that person is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, like I said, like saying, hey mama, you know, like my kids don't get to call her Tasha because even though that is her name, their acknowledgement of her position in their life and the separation between them and that authority, right, is by calling her the title that she earned in your life. And so we have to kind of be careful when we pray to God that we don't jump into requests. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, y'all can jump in anytime. I'm just, you know, I'm gonna keep going because y'all know I don't like
I was listening to the live, and I agree with two things that stood out for me that you mentioned. Hearing other people pray can cause some sort of like, is that how it's supposed to be? Is that what I'm supposed to say? I don't know if I could do that. But one thing that I looked at, the word prayer in itself, is it's a two-way communication.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a time for you to revere and acknowledge and give honor to who God is in your life, and also listen. Because sometimes we think prayer is just us communicating, but communication is listening, talking, and, you know, like, what am I getting out of this interaction? So it's not just about what I say, it's also about how I pause, reflect, and hear the responses to that. Sometimes we just want to, like it's reading a book. We want to say what's on our chest, what's on our heart, get it all out, and then deuces, I'm out.
So do you think that's
Prayer
why we
over.
kind of skip, like I was saying about skipping from worship and acknowledgement straight to request?
Yeah, and it's not, like you mentioned earlier, it's not just about jump right to it with your request. It's also, you know, adoration, acknowledgement. It's also about intercession. You know, you mentioned pray for others so that you may be, you're receiving something out of doing that.
Yeah.
And so I think that the big thing about, for me, was about two-way communication. And I posted in the chat, I don't know if you can see the YouTube chat, but I posted in there, I said a lot of it for me growing up was intimidation. Like if someone called you to pray, Elliot knows this. They would be like, we need somebody. I'm like,
Right.
call me. Because I can't say it, I can't sound like, you know, Sister Bernie or Sister Matthews, or, you know, I don't, and not to take away from what their prayer life was, because that you do you is what it was, but it felt like intimidation to me, because I felt like I may not say the right words like they did.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as you grow up and grow into God's word, then you realize he didn't call me to be Sister Matthews, or he didn't call me to be Sister Bailey, or all these other people. And then by showing that diversity across others, it gives other people who are looking at these individuals the ability to say, oh, I don't have to say when the tongue cleaved to the roof of my mouth. I'm like, I was wrong, and I still don't even know what that means. So you don't have to sound like so-and-so. And it allows others to come to that realization sooner, and it dispels that intimidation factor. When we go back to the truth of it, is prayer is a two-way communication in whatever way, you know, you see fit to commune with God, but also give pause to hear back from God. It's like if somebody called you on the phone and you never said two words, is that really like two-way communication?
Jump in.
You just like,
I need some money.
mhm.
But you know, we're really funny about that too. Like we want acknowledgement. We want people to listen to us, but then we don't do the same for God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like looking at that model prayer, it begins with worship, and then you go to requests. You know, because now I'm in worship. Worship is humbling. You know, worship is acknowledging. Worship is, you know, true worship, whether it's, you know, singing a song or just praying a prayer or just contemplating on how good God has been. It's a humbling situation. And so when you're, you know, like they talk about the angels bow down and give God glory, you know, that's, you know, there's angels that's all they do all day is just bow down and give God glory, just being in worship in his presence. But humans who have, he literally sacrificed his son for, just walk up and say, all right, dude, I need, you know, like, yeah, okay, God, you know, yeah. You know, it's like we're matter of fact about acknowledging who he is, you know. And so that's another aspect. And then we get to request, like, give us our daily bread. And so basically that's just, you know, God supply our needs, you know, according to his riches and glory, give us our daily bread. And then we go into the reality of, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Now, why do I say reality? Why is that reality? Because I don't want anything to come in between me getting my needs met. And if that means that's taking accountability for your life and your action and how you treat other people. God is big on how you treat other people. It's all through the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And so even in my prayer, I'm saying, God, I'm willing to put what I do out in these streets, you know, so forgive me how I forgive somebody else. That's a tough thing to pray if you ain't forgiven. You know, if you ain't living like that, that's a tough thing to pray. Maybe that's the reason why people don't really pray it, because, you know, you still mad, you know.
But whether you acknowledge and pray it or not, God has said, I will forgive you as you have forgiven others. So if you realize that your ability to forgive others is tied to how God is going to forgive you, it changes. It changes the framework in which you think. Like, just because you don't say it don't mean it's not true.
Yeah.
Or acknowledge it. Ignorance is not bliss.
Yeah. And then and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. God help me, please, Lord. Because, you know, don't put me in a position, don't put me in that Job type situation, you know. But deliver us from evil. So we're back into request and connection with that. And then it says, then we back to worship. So basically it's a worship sound. I forgot what this rabbi called it. Chiasm, I think it's called. It's when something is stated in the Bible and then it's restated. And then you can literally fold it almost like a taco, and find out what it means in the middle, you know. And it's saying, so, you know, we're back. We start with worship, acknowledging who God is. Then we end with, for thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. You know, so it's almost like I'm gonna start with acknowledging you. I'm gonna end with acknowledging you. I'm gonna work some stuff out in the middle, but I want you to know I acknowledge who you are and I appreciate you forever. You know what I'm saying? And I acknowledge, you know, you are great and you are powerful. And the reason why I exist is that. And so what some things that, you know, when you feel like you're talking to God, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking when you talk?
You asking?
Yeah.
I'm saying for me, I always try not to feel entitled when I'm praying. Even though, you know, you didn't say you will meet our needs, but I don't want to feel like, so whenever I do pray, it's very rare that I ask for something specifically. It's more so, hey, just keep me covered in the blood, you know, keep watchful eye over me. And I know if I ask for that, then everything's going to be okay. But it's not where, hey, God, can you help me with this bill? You know, right. Or, man, my water about to get cut off, right. Or I'm hungry. You know, no, I don't ask for things like that. But and I think that's just a personal thing with me, where I don't want to feel like I'm entitled to it, because I don't feel like I'm entitled to anything, you know, because I know I'm good and I'm bad, you know. But I always tell people, like, God know my heart, you know. You know,
that's the default answer.
Yeah, God know my heart. You know? But with even that there's still some truth behind it. You know, I know I'm not perfect out here. So for me to feel like I'm entitled for something when I'm not displaying perfect behavior, it's hard on me when I'm praying for it. If that makes sense. But I will ask, hey, you know, forgive me for my sins, keep me covered, you know, keep guiding me, things of that nature. But I won't ask for, hey, help me with this business, you know, or hey, I want this promotion. Can you work it out for me? No, I don't. When I'm praying, I don't do things like that.
Okay. Anybody else?
So I think sometimes I look at it like a child-parent relationship. As a parent, you know, if your kids ask you for something and you know that, hey, I know if I give you candy every time you ask, that I'm gonna be paying a high dentist bill on the back end of that. You know, I know the immediate gratification is gonna be there. You're gonna be happy, you're gonna be on sugar high. But the long-term effects is gonna be impacting my finances. And it's going to be impacting your health. And so I look at it kind of like God knows, hey, these are the things that I can see, but he sees beyond kind of my vision. And he knows, hey, that may not be the job for you right now, so I'm going to have that door closed, but I may position you in something else. So at the end of that prayer, when we refer to, hey, here's where I'm thinking, I'm asking, your will be done. So if that's not in your will for me at this moment, or maybe it's not no, totally, it's no right now. Maybe you're not ready for, you know, this certain position or this certain role right now, but in 6 months, it may be, you know, it may be yes, or I have something better than this. You think this is all that and you know, all that in a bag of chips, but I got something that's even beyond what you're asking for specifically. And so I think having that mindset of he's all knowing, he already know the end. And so I have limited vision of what I'm asking for, but at the end of that, it's like, God, this is what I'm asking, and he already knows our intention. But at the end of that, it's like your will, not mine.
Yeah.
So
That's the cheat code for prayer too, is praying in the will of God. God, whatever your will is for the situation. And, you know, I mean, it's okay to, you know, pray for specifics. God, I need God, I need you to work on my behalf. You know, God, I need healing for whatever. But praying in the will of God is the cheat code. It's like, God, if it's your will, you know, Jesus did it. You know, say, God, if it's your will, let this cup pass from me. You know, but not my will, thy will be done. You know, because really that was Jesus' humanity speaking out, because he knew the physical aspect of what he was about to, you know, face. And he knew that he was going to face that cross by himself, you know, and that people who claimed to be around him, who was there, you know, his closest people, weren't going to be there to save him from what he was going to face. It's okay to even know what you're going to face, but actually experiencing it, you know, and he had to fight through what I am going to physically experience to forego that to, you know, whatever God's will is. So when you're praying, what is your expectations? Go ahead.
When I'm praying, I guess my expectations, I don't really have expectations when I go into praying. I don't have, I'm not trying, there's nothing that I'm trying to achieve at the end of it. I think that if anything, in my mind was that enough for God? In my mind, was that enough? So I guess I second guess myself in my prayer. Did I worship him enough? Did I give him enough? Was that, you know, I guess supple for him? So yeah.
That's good. That's good. Jeremy, what you got?
I think you can piggyback off what she said, kind of what Rod been saying. It's like, yeah, just that entitlement. I don't really think it's nothing to expect, really. It's just like, I'm pouring in, I'm communicating, he's communicating. It's like, all right, but I'm not going to sit and be like, oh, yeah, all right, he forgave me. Now I'm going to go do something even crazier. Like, it's just like,
Right.
It's just like, I don't know. that entitlement. Like, it's not nothing to be entitled about. You should just be going in with an open mind, open heart, and whatever comes back with that, that's what it is.
Okay. So some things that, as we get closer to a close, there's some things I want to say that I'm going to read this prayer. It sounds weird me reading a prayer, but I think when I read it, y'all kind of get what I'm talking about. But some things that, you can reflect on when you're praying, and that's anybody who watched this or anybody that's in the room, is what am I thinking? What am I expecting? What do I want? What do I need? What is my truth? What is my promise? What is my result? And what is my faith in? And so it might seem like a lot, but it's really just as you're approaching God, what is the point? And it's okay to expect God to move. The expectation is literally in, I know who he is. So I expect, if you have no expectation, it's hard to communicate without expectation. So it's like you say, even in my worship is toward him so that it is enough because it's from my heart. It's okay to be specific. It's okay to say, God, I need you to direct me toward your will for me in my life. And as you mature and as things go on, you have to be surgical. You have to be a surgeon and not a butcher. You know what I'm saying? You have to be like, because now, especially with children, God, I need you to move on behalf of my son. I need you to heal my wife. I need you to protect her. I'm going, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I know you're with me. You know what I'm saying? I fear no evil because God is with me. Because God knew I was going through the valley of shadow of death. So God, as I'm going through this valley, I need you to meet me there. You know what I'm saying? Because I know and that there's some dudes in the shadow that's about to try to bust my head and steal my money. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to be specific and have an expectation, because it's the same thing as, like you said, to your point, is the same thing as having a conversation with your parents. When you have a conversation with your parents, there is an expectation of a reaction. Like last night, you text me, hey, can I go to so-and-so, so-and-so? Your expectation is for me to respond, or you just wouldn't have talked to me in the first place. But the issue is we have to be back to what Tasha said, is how silent are you in your prayer? It should be prayer and meditation. The meditation part is sometimes just being silent. The meditation part is just, God, okay, let me rest in your will and be silent. And if he says nothing, that don't mean he's not working. You know what I'm saying? Silence does not mean that he's not speaking or he's not moving. It just means he wants you to marinate. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he wants you to marinate. Sometimes life and God opening doors for you and fixing stuff is a process for sustainment. And anything that he does that he wants to bless you in a sustained manner, where it's not just a short-term thing, it always takes time to get there. Why? Because you weren't mature enough to get that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? If you blow $20, what you gonna do with 200 million? So you can wish for the lottery numbers all you want to, but if God's saying, you know what? If I gave you that, if I gave you everything you asked for, I would be killing you. And I love you enough to tell you no. Sometimes with your own child, you have to love them enough to say, okay, we cool and everything, but I have to love you enough to say no. And so I'm going to read this prayer and then we're going to close out. Father, I'm sorry for the time again, leaning on my undeserved grace. I realize that you are the one and the only, and I am nothing. But first, I say thank you. Thank you for the things that you have done when I didn't pray and when I did. Thank you for the small things. and the things that I take advantage of. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for the large things like being wounded for our trespasses, bruised for our iniquities, dying on a cross for sins that I committed. But thank you most for getting up, rising up, and telling the world that I can have a second chance. Lord, if I really think on your goodness and all you have done for me, all I can say is thank you. And I just want to tell y'all that I appreciate y'all coming today and your input. This was really good. And it just kind of, just everybody showing their growth and their perspective, which is wonderful. But again, we just want to say thank you to God for just the opportunity to be able to share with each other and our word. If you'd like to partner with New Way, please do so. You can do so via Cash App, that's $ New Way Indy, or you can use the Giveify app, that's New Way Indy. We have continued to do some amazing things. Saturday was fantastic. It was a first time one, well, only second time being on the third Saturday, but first time actually serving breakfast. And I will say publicly that my wife was right because when I saw she was doing breakfast, I was like, oh my God, we have never done breakfast. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. And it was fantastic. The people that we served loved it. And so we were truly blessed. So please continue to sow your seed into the ministry that we continue to do all the things we're able to do. If you'd like to get in contact with us, please do so at info@newwayindy.org. That's info@newwayindy.org. Prayer requests, partnerships, if you need a church home. I would love to be your pastor. New Way would love to be your church. If you want to get in contact with us, you can hit us up at 833-NEW-WAY-7. That is 833-639-9297. God bless you. May heaven shine upon you and give you peace. Good job.